We're back.
I know, right?
What happened last time? We had to cut it short because you have such an amazing story.
Yes, and then we had to head out to you know where.
One of the events, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of our events.
So we were chatting for like I think over an hour. I don't know.
Yeah, it was deep. It was deep. I mean,
so we needed 2 parts. A little change of scenery.
That's crazy.
A lot's happened. A couple days, not too long, but yeah. I just feel like your story. I mean, we needed more time. We need more time. And when we were talking, you have so many, like, I feel like you've lived so many lives, right? Like most of us have. Yeah. But we left off in you leaving New York and the why and what got you basically to Maryland, which was, we ended on like an emotional note, and it was incredible. It was an incredible story. I think those were my last words. I was like, that's fucking incredible.
Well, I needed to start my life all over again because it was too easy in New York City, man. I had it all. I mean, I was a superintendent, and so I was managing 2 buildings, living for free in a beautiful area, 59th Street between 1st and 2nd. Come on now. So imagine, I danced in the clubs, and I made so much money there, and seriously, living for free in the city? Come on now.
No, that's great. It's so expensive.
Hello. During that time, in the 90s, girl. I was a boss.
I feel like you say that all the time. You're like, in the 90s.
Because I'm a 90s girl. I love the music. I mean, I was born, of course, in the 70s, but the 90s, everything came out. Remember? That's when I came out.
Right.
I mean, I was even engaged. Remember that too?
Yeah.
So
you told that story.
The 90s, oh my God.
They were like a life-changing decade.
Big time.
For sure.
Big time, Graduated from college in the 90s.
A lot of good things happened in the 90s.
I met so many amazing people, But
you moved from New York to Maryland.
I ended up in Maryland. I think it
was.
But
why Maryland?
Because when this person that I met in my meditation practice, it's actually called Sahaja Yoga. Sahaja Yoga. Sahaj means a spontaneous Sahaja means a spontaneous union. Okay. Yoga means with God. So you have this energy that awakens, and it's called the Kundalini energy. So
I know that well.
You already know.
Jackie always comes and she's like, she sees somebody at the house and she's like, I need to raise your Kundalini. Come over here.
In a very positive way. I don't force people. I just basically... It's your freedom, you know. That's your freedom. If you choose to sit there and experience this peace, it's all on you, but it's never forced,
No, but I've seen it work. Like, you raised mine, and
you already know what you felt.
You feel like the energy, either like cold or warm air, and at the end, well, I'm not going to say what you do, but everyone I feel like has felt the energy,
something different.
The impact of the Kundalini.
And it's so subtle. It's so beautiful because it's so subtle. It's like it happens spontaneously.
Right.
And the Kundalini energy. I mean, if you look at the 3.5, it's in 3.5 coil. I actually have it. It's on my tattoo. So
we're gonna show
this is the level you reach. That
your
level.
A little bit.
So then you have this energy that rises, and as it rises, it clears your centers. And those centers we call chakras. So I had that experience when I met the founder after 9/11 because I was trying to find myself.
Right.
So when I became that person that was seeking for answers after 9/11, I walked to the Lincoln Center, and I used to go to the free shows. Dance is my world. Yeah. So it was free dance during the day.
Wow.
So I would go there. So the library was around the corner, and that's on 64th Street and Broadway. I used to go there all the time to hang out, just to watch shows for free in the summer. Some guy gave me a fly, and I said, free meditation yoga. I said, what free stuff? I'm gonna go. I need some meditation in my life. Girl, I go in there. It was a beautiful theater. Even when I walked around there, I can feel the vibrations because that's when I was born again. I felt born again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That feeling? Like you felt like I feel so enlightened, And I can tell you a story. When I walked in there, I saw people with their eyes closed. I mean, I've been to many temples. Even Hare Krishna. With my ex. We went in there and we were like, this is too quiet. And why are people with their eyes open? It's supposed to be closed. But I respect every practice, every religion. It's so good. That's how they roll. Right. I know I walked in there and it was like, I saw like people with their arms open. I'm like, whoa, this is different. I feel a sense of peace. But then you have people, yogis, that already been in this practice for 20, 30 years, talking about their experience. And
that's cool.
The founder was coming.
Wow.
The founder of Sahaja Yoga was on her way, got back from India, and was on her way to talk about the Kundalini energy.
That's sick. I didn't know that.
So
you met her.
I had this fro. My fro, I swear to God, I had such an afro that even when I became a yogini, everyone remembered me because of my afro.
Wow.
So
I haven't seen a picture of you with the afro. You need to send it so we can post it up.
I got lots of pictures, boo. Even wearing a sari, an Indian, dress. Yeah. So to make a long story short, I'm sitting there, and I'm like, who's this woman, and why is they doing this? I want to learn this. And then everyone was talking about how this energy make them better singers, actors. I mean, they were successful in everything that they would do. And I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then there was a huge picture of her with this energy coming out of the sun. I don't know, it was so beautiful. Wow. It was so powerful. I said, I need to meet this lady. So I waited like 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Boom, 8 o'clock. It was 6 o'clock. 8 o'clock, she shows up, right? When she walked in, I went like this. Oh my God, I know this. And I just closed my eyes. And she started talking. I could just hear her talk about the peace, the energy, the enlightenment, the chakras, the 7 chakras. Mm-hmm. At one point, we went through the affirmations, because you do go through affirmation for this energy to rise. Right. But for people that already have this awakening, they can just do it spontaneously by just raising like what I did to you. Right. So, boom.
That's crazy.
She said, if you don't have faith, come up on stage.
You went up?
I got up on stage. I walked to, and I sat right next to her. Wow. And everybody that was there, she just kept like looking at them and checking their vibrations. And I was just standing there just watching her. All of a sudden, with my hands out like this, because you can feel your chakras on your fingertips. Yeah. That's when you know if there's a blockage. So I kept thinking in my head, like, I wonder what you feel. Do you feel problems, issues about me? What is wrong with me?
You were looking for answers.
I was looking for answers. Like, what is wrong with me? I wanted to ask her. I said, I wish you can just like look and just tell me. She turned around, looked at me, and went like this. In other words, I'm here. Right. I feel you. So then I went around behind her, and I looked at her hair, and all I saw was like this energy coming out of her hair. And I just kept looking at that, and I'm like, this is so beautiful. I feel so joyful, and this joy that I just don't even understand. Girl, I never liked the rain because my hair, my fro, it would mess everything up. I walked out, it was boring, and I had to take the train. So let me tell you, I'm like, you know what? I don't give a fuck. Let it rain, because I am free. I am free. But freedom meant a lot of things for me. Mm-hmm. Letting go of the past, letting go of the future, and understanding what it's like to be in the present. And that alone is a journey. Because
it's hard to be in the present. That's like anxiety, right? Like you're always like thinking about
it's because because we are so used to thinking about the future.
We're consumed on like what's gonna happen. What are we gonna do?
Right, because we worry too much. Yeah. We worry too much. So being on even thinking about my past, because we all, not all, but some of us have a rough past. Yeah. And that is one layer that is hard it's just so hard to fix. Mm-hmm. Because that's so many, if you believe in previous lives. Yeah. Can you imagine carrying that side with weight? So you have to break away from that as well. That's why when I mentioned in the another conversation about forgiving, yes, you can forgive yourself, but I'll be honest with you, yes, you can forgive others, but it's hard. It's hard because you gotta still fix yourself, and you do have so many layers, so many layers. So I try to be so humble with myself because I do know that I'm still working on myself.
Yeah.
But I don't beat myself down anymore. I embrace my pain and I embrace my peace. And I can say that because I'm the type of person that I just don't, perfection, come on now. We're human beings, but we are also the spirit. And I learned that through Sahayo.
Wow.
Yeah, we're humans, but we are the spirit. One with the self. So imagine that deep connection. And then meditating at home by myself. And learning about my own silence. The first thing that came up, you gotta go. You gotta leave your home. And I had it all.
You heard like a voice inside that was go? Energy?
It was just an energy. It was just, I saw myself leaving.
Wow.
You know?
Like your time there was...
Done.
Done.
So, of course, that didn't just happen, right away. I had to go. I was getting in so deep into Sahaya yoga that I would go to the practice and people got to know me and I was so involved. And then I ended up going to these huge retreats. And so I found myself in this beautiful place in upstate New York.
Like a wellness retreat? I've always wanted to do
It was
that.
one of those, they call them like ashrams.
Yeah.
They had a hangar for people to just sleep in there, but we had pujas.
Wow. How long did you do it for?
This whole going...
No, the retreat. Did you do a 3-day, 5-day?
Oh, it was a weekend thing.
A weekend
We
thing?
get there Friday and leave Sunday.
Wow.
Yeah. So here I am, sitting, just meditating by myself. By myself alone, quiet. It was all land, beautiful land. And this person was walking, and I'm like, who is that? Indian woman, I was like, wow, who is that?
Like you were checking her out, or you're...
Well, there was a love.
There was an energy.
Like I knew her.
Okay.
It was just like a very interesting connection, because even for Friday, she just kept looking at me. So she came and she was like, hey, I said, hi, how are you? Can we meditate together? I said, sure. I said, you want me to work on you? I'm like, I would love that. Because working on someone, it's like clearing out a lot of everything.
Yeah.
So it was wonderful. So I worked on her, she worked on me. And then we just connected and talked, and I met her family, and then she invited me to have, during the spring time, to Maryland.
Oh, she lived in Maryland.
Burnsfield. I mean, not Burnsfield, that's what, Burnsville.
Burnsville.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's like Jersey. I'm going there. I'm going to Jersey right now. Anyway, my sister lives there, but I'm not gonna get.
We don't like Jersey. We're from Philly over here.
New York City, baby. You're right. Anyway, but that happened, and then I was just driving around. I was like, look at all these beautiful flowers. This is everything. This is like beautiful. I want to live here. This is where I want to live. And look what happened.
But where's Burnsville from where you live now? How far is it? It's close?
Oh, that's a good question. It's about 25 minutes.
Oh, it's close.
25 to 30 minutes, yeah.
So you loved it. You loved the area. Like, did you feel a sense of peace when you were?
Well, I went to stay with them,
Right.
So I stayed with them for a whole week sometimes.
Wow.
And I ate Indian food. I learned how to
I love
eat.
Indian food.
I mean, every day I learned to eat Indian, like basically all the different dishes that they
so
prepare.
good.
And then she loved to cook. So she will cook some good stuff, man. I used to be like, this is great. With my hands.
And I love that they eat with their hands.
Yes,
that
because
culture.
you want your vibrations on the food and your energy. But when you eat, so I learned that from them,
Wow.
and it was beautiful, and it was a beautiful time because I was just in meditation pretty much every day. I would wake up in the morning in meditation. I would go to sleep in meditation. I still do, but at a different level. Mm-hmm. It's now more vocal. I talk about my life. I talk about other people I love more.
Right.
It's so much that it just changed my life completely.
Wow.
Completely. 100%.
So when you got to Maryland, I mean, what'd you do? Like, what'd you start doing?
You mean when I moved in?
Yeah, when you moved in, you're
horrible.
like, I want to move.
It was horrible.
Why?
Because I started subbing for the schools, Montgomery County. You know, I was a teacher in New York City.
Oh, yeah.
So I started subbing for the schools, but then I didn't know 3 inches of snow. The schools are closed. Are you kidding me? In New York, 16 inches, and you still open. Clean the roads. No.
Here it's like a little.
What the hell?
Little
So
wind and everything's closed.
Broke.
Oh, shit.
Most of the time. With a little dog, my baby Stella. Poor thing, trying to deal with the change. I'm trying to deal with the change. I moved to Clinton, Maryland. I lived with.
That's where I lived.
Remember, right?
I think we were
the Rotunda.
years apart, but Rotunda.
Yeah,
we were like in the
Rotunda.
same area. We figured that out like
that's crazy.
a little while ago. Not too long ago.
Yeah, but that goes to show you,
Clinton, Maryland.
Amazing. So I lived there for 2 years.
Uh-huh.
2 years. And it was hard because I was subbing everywhere. I would go to Annapolis.
Really?
I would travel.
So what, they call you just like
Yeah, they'll call you.
The county hires you? Or
yeah,
what?
The county hires you. So, and I heard it was really hard to become like a substitute.
A sub, yeah.
In Montgomery County because they pay more.
Right.
When I got in, baby, I was like,
wow.
Thank you, God.
And what did you teach?
No, well, it was, subbing for elementary school teachers,
Okay.
like, first grade.
Like
general stuff,
okay.
reading the books. But, when I was a first grade teacher in New York City, I had a bunch of Dominicans.
Oh.
That was uptown. There's 80-year-old teacher broke out. She literally broke out and never came back.
What do you mean?
She just left and never came
Why?
back. In New York, teachers have tenures, which means that they're not gonna lose. So think about that. She was like, I'm done with this job. So
like,
what happened? The principal decides to keep me in the classroom. So I said, what do you want me to do here? Well, you'll probably be their teacher for until we find out. Girl, that never happened. So I said, but what am I reading? These books? I came to this country at the age of 10. Why the hell do I need to read The Caterpillar? What the hell is this?
The Caterpillar?
Was it the Caterpillar, right?
I don't even remember this.
I don't know, the Coyote. So let me tell you. Hello.
When people like make reference, like, American-born citizens, when they make gringo, coño, when they make like references of like children's books and stuff, I'm like, yo, I was too busy learning the damn language. I don't remember any of the
Thank
books.
you very much.
I don't remember anything.
Hello.
And in Spanish, we left at a young age, so we don't remember that either.
No.
So we're just screwed.
I was in a state of shock.
Yeah.
I was in a state
I was like, why are there white people all around? Where are my people at? Because back then, there was barely any Latinos.
I had a bunch of Puerto Ricans and Dominicans in the classroom.
See, you were at least with...
But it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy because they all spoke English. They're mostly Puerto Ricans. So the teachers were very judgmental and very nasty because I was the only ESOL person sometimes in the classroom.
Right.
Think about that.
Yeah.
You know how that you feel? You feel left out.
No, I was the only Latina.
Yo, son.
In the ESL, yeah, it was just...
ESL was horrible in the sense that...
No, but it was...
But it helped. It helped a lot.
It wasn't that bad. Because we learned the language.
Of course, it taught us... Well, it did. But at the same time, it divided us too. Because it was like... Okay, I know in the elementary school they wanted us all together. Yeah. But that was a problem not just with the students. It was the teachers that had an issue. Especially, I'm sorry to disrespect, but some white teachers didn't like to work with ESOL students. And only because we couldn't understand. This teacher made fun of me. Only because she was asking me social studies, right?
Whatever race, she
was asking me a question, and then I looked up because I didn't know what the hell she was saying. And then she said in a loud voice, "What are you looking at the moon?" I remember that.
That's messed up.
And everyone laughed at me. And that's messed up. She was probably a miserable person, didn't like her job. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, to make a long story short, I became a dual language teacher for 35 Dominican kids.
Damn!
I loved them so much. They were my babies. But then I created a program. So as I'm reading, these kids were already cold from coming from an apartment with no heat. So they had to sit on the floor that was cold. Okay? So I'm reading this book to them. I'm like, okay, nah, we're going to dance to the story. We're going to dance to the story. We're going to enjoy the story by dancing because I want you guys to learn about the story. So I will go home and I will just read the story and start choreographing the moves. And I will play music in the background. So guess what? They called it, the coordinator that was actually training me, we both sat down and she was like, let's call it Connecting Movement Through Literature. I'm like, oh my God, that would be great. So every book I would read, every book, and we danced to the book. We danced to the story. We perform on stage. The principal was like this. She even came to observe. The superintendent came to observe my classroom because it was working. I ended up in the teachers' union. Guess what? Teaching them how to make reading more entertaining, more interesting.
That is such a good idea.
And that's what I did. So then I became the dance teacher of the school.
You need to do that now again.
I know, we should do that, right? Yeah.
Nobody take our idea. Her idea.
Hello?
Hey, scratch this.
I'm going to trademark the business. Don't worry, I got Maurice.
Shut up, Maurice.
Maurice, you already know.
Oh, no, that's such a great idea.
So I did that for 2 years because then I became the dance teacher of the school. And all the teachers would give me their books.
Wow. So
then it became a whole show.
But wait, this was in New York.
In New York City, baby. 165th Street.
Why do you always reference the
because
streets?
That's how New Yorkers we are. Hello. In Amsterdam. Booker T. Washington. No, PS 165.
Oh my
Booker T. Washington I was doing the program, the after school, the Pekin program.
So did you bring that program in Maryland or what? When you started
they cut the program. This is in the 90s. They cut because of the budget cuts. So my program, there was a budget for my program. I was able to teach this to a lot of teachers. Like, this is what you want to do, and take this to the classroom. Make reading enjoyable. Connect that.
Yeah.
Just the movement, the music, and my students, they enjoy themselves so much.
Wow.
I mean, I have lots of pictures, and I'll bring them so you can see.
You have to send them. So when you were subbing here, so you did that for a little while, and then, but you weren't getting jobs like enough, right? So how did you survive? How'd you make money?
So living with my brother-in-law's best friend, it was easy because he helped me a lot. I was living for free. But then it was time for me to move out.
Right.
So I ended up going to Calverton in PG County. Mm-hmm. I rented a studio. And that's when things were going so bad because it was snowing a lot, so I wasn't making money. My fridge was empty, no food. And it was hard for me to ask for help at that time. Mm-hmm. I wanted to prove to everyone that I could do it.
That you can make it, yeah.
That I can make it. There were very dark moments. Only because I didn't see a fridge full of food, and my dog, I had to feed her too. But it was bad. It was so bad that I didn't have money to pay the rent. But luckily my brother jumped in. I had to tell my brother, yo, son, I'm going through it. And I had it all, and not having it all after that, that's crazy. I went.
Yeah, you're starting over. I mean,
I didn't even have TV. I didn't have internet. I had internet because I would go online and look for lesbian parties. I was like, what the hell?
You're like, I don't have food in my fridge. I can't eat. I can't survive. But where are the lesbians?
And I don't even have a friend. I don't even have friends. So where do I go? Let me see if there's any lesbian parties.
Yeah, if I can meet people.
And there was that place, Volt. Was it Volt? What was it called again?
Cobalt?
Not Cobalt. There was something, I forgot the name. I went to some club, but I was by my, I was like, what is this? I want to go. But it was not easy. It was not easy. I suffered so much. I would sometimes go inside the bathtub and just, bawl.
Like cry?
For hours. But I want to say something. You can go through your worst moments, and I just believe that sometimes there's that light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
And I believe in that.
Hell yeah.
I hear people moving next door because it was a small hallway. There was only 2 apartments in that hallway. So there was an apartment here and my apartment. And then there was another
It's in
door.
PG County, right?
In PG County,
Okay.
yeah. And I remember hearing people move in. I'm like, oh, there's people moving in. Oh my God. Oh, okay. I have neighbors now. That night, I went to bed. I was sleeping on the floor. I didn't have furniture. And my dog, she will sleep with me because I needed that love, Poor thing. Poor Stella.
Oh, Stella. Dogs are the best.
That's why she's my baby. I will always think of my dog. Gosh, we've been through so much together. So, boom. I had a dream that there was someone opened the refrigerator and I hear bags. When they're taking out groceries and they're putting.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to wake up because this dream felt so real. I'm like, what is going on? Who's here? Who's in my kitchen? Who's in my kitchen? So I hear like the sound, but it was peaceful. It was not scary at all. Boom. So next day I wake up. Then I'm trying to find ways to see if I can maybe find another job real quick so I can make money. Now it's like 6 o'clock. Someone is knocking on my door. I'm like, who's knocking? I don't even know any. So I look, peek, and I'm like, oh, who's that lady? So I open the door, and this lady has a plate of food. I say, hi, I'm your neighbor. So I just wanted to come and introduce myself, but I wanted to give you a plate of food. And I'm like, oh my God.
Which is so rare. That does not happen.
Think about it.
It's so rare.
And her name is Luz. So Luz, you need to watch this because you know how we disconnected for many years.
Oh, send it to her.
Guess.
Shout out to Luz.
Guess how we found each other again?
How?
Through my video with Gabe.
Wow.
Because it went viral, so she found me. But anyway,
we'll get into that.
Luz had a plate of food. Wow. I looked at Stella. I was like, Stella, look, we got food.
Wow.
And I said, oh my God, you're an angel to me. Like, you're an angel. Thank you. I just, okay, you want to come in? And she says, yeah, sure, come in. And I was eating.
You were eating, oh my gosh.
I was so hungry.
Yeah.
And I said, where you from? She said, I'm from Mexico. Mexico! Wow! And my husband is from Sri Lanka. Oh my God. Wow. And that's why I taste the spice. Like, yeah, we both cook a lot of spicy. I'm like, this is amazing.
And you love it. We love spicy.
Because I grew, with my dear instrument, that is, I just learned spice. I can eat very strong spicy food.
Right.
So imagine with a Sri Lankan and a Mexican.
Oof.
And they
Fire.
cook. And they cook.
Did you have toilet paper?
Huh? That's another conversation. But that's another conversation. Anyway. So
you ate, so you met an amazing neighbor.
Family with their 2 kids, you know, and I was invited every day to have dinner.
Beautiful. And
every day I would go and eat, and things were picked up for me, and started working for a program that had, there was all for young adults with disabilities.
Yeah.
Mostly in wheelchairs. And from there, I started just think about it. That was my first experience.
Yeah.
And they were my trainers. And I kept going up and up. Then the school, the private school, the Ivy Mount School. And then Kennedy Krieger. And then I became a nanny. And working as a nanny, too, for 3 houses. I mean, there was 3 families. Another training. So it's like, I'm talking about 15, 20 years.
All special needs?
Special needs.
Always
yeah,
special
because
needs.
That's the thing that happened. The magic that happened in this program at the JCC.
Yeah. Wow, so you were a nanny for 3 different families?
Yes.
Like all children with disabilities?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. I think that JCC trained me, and then from there going to the Ivy Mount School. I mean, working for the Ivy Mount School, Kennedy Krieger. It was just like it was already aligned.
But you were moving up. Like,
exactly,
I mean, you were like...
in so many ways. And I worked so hard. It was hard work, but I loved it because I embraced these families, and I learned so much from them. But it got to a point that I found something even greater. And I think you know what I'm going to talk about.
This is what I wanted to
Zam dance.
Yeah. What is Zam dance?
Zam dance is my dance fitness program with my, I get so excited. For, children and adults with, intellectual and developmental disabilities. So I started this program 10 years ago, and we celebrated 10 years in October on my birthday, October 8th. And you know that this program has completely changed my life.
Of course.
It has been...
but I mean, it's changed so many lives.
And so many
You're
lives.
The only one,
I mean, let me say that, so many lives.
You're the only one that I've ever heard that does this kind of work. Because it's through dance. Explain it. Like, what is Zam dance?
Well, Zam, think about my last name.
And why the name,
Zamora.
right?
Of course, the person that, his daughter was my student. I lived with him, and I was the nanny. He's a patent lawyer. So when she already moved out of the house, of course, the dude is my best friend, so we like hanging out. So I was like, yo, can I live down in the basement? I mean, I want to leave this hood, because I love this hood. And now I actually live in the hood, but without him. I don't live with him.
But you're like down the street, right?
But two blocks away from this dude. 2 blocks away. So
and he's like a Ravens fan. So.
Yeah, and we go out to dinners once a week. That's the routine. But he's a blessing.
Yeah.
He's such a blessing because, he's a patent lawyer. And when I sat there, I said, Maurice, I'm ready to teach my program. And he said, what do you want to call it? What do you think? Call it Zam dance. It has it comes from your last name.
Yeah.
And then it's all about dance. Who you are.
Yeah.
So why not? So I was like, oh my God. Yes.
That light bulb.
So it worked out. And the first class, think about it. I decided to quit everything. I didn't have a job. So I only had $50 in my pocket. I went to this dance studio in Gaithersburg. Went upstairs. The Zumba, it was a Zumba studio.
Yeah.
And the person who was running the place, she's Puerto Rican.
you and Puerto Ricans.
I love my Puerto Ricans.
You can't get away from it.
Come on, I love my Puerto Ricans. My best friends were all Puerto Rican. My ex-girlfriends were mostly Puerto Rican.
I know.
My fiance.
I know. That's why I'm saying
And my brother-in-law is Puerto Rican too. Hello. So my nephews have Puerto Rican, have Dominican. Come on. So let me just let you know like what happened. So when I go up there, I said, Mamita, I have my own dance program, but you gotta throw some sister,
yeah.
You know how it is. Mamita, I have my own dance program, but it's for children and adults with disabilities. Is it okay if I can rent the spot on a Saturday? Are you like, oh, that's so cool. That's a cool program. Yes, I have 11:30 to 12:30. Can you? I'm like, yes. Made it the first day. That's a Saturday, September 28th, 2013. I had 6 students because I sent emails out and I already knew people.
Right.
So six participants showed up. The second time, it was 10. The third Saturday, it was 14. Then someone comes out of nowhere and says, you need to get in touch with Whitney Ellen. I'm like, who is she? She has like 500 families. Once you tell her we'll tell her about you. Oh, you don't even know what's coming. Girl.
And that's what happened.
To make a long story short, Whitney was my voice. Whitney was the power of Zam Dance. She is the godmother of Zam Dance. She is everything. When she found out about me, she came with her son. He loved my program so much that it was like every Saturday. She looked at me and said, where have you been? I've been looking for you for so many years.
Oh my God.
And I said, I'm right here, boo, and I'm not going anywhere.
That's so sweet.
We decided to have our own events. And it was the Halloween parties, spring fling, packed the place. And this woman has been a blessing to me, only because the reason why Zam Dance is Zam Dance today is because of Whitney. She was my voice. And she still is. Oh, she still is.
Shout out to Whitney.
Yes. And shout out to also Nicole, because through the internet, people have been really reaching out to me.
Nicole's Gabe's mom?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nicole got us, man.
And congratulations. She just got engaged, right?
Yes, with Caroline. So it's awesome. Gabe, I love you. Thank you so much for just being present with me. And
we'll put up a video of
that
the
video has to
that
be,
went viral.
That's being present in the moment through dance. And Gabe understood that language. Yeah. And that's why it worked so beautifully.
And we ran into them at we were on
Gay Pride, remember?
We had a float for taste, and Nicole and Gabe walked by on the right, and you guys had such a beautiful moment. Dancing together. He was like so excited to see you. And
it was like a celebration of life. Yeah. It was a celebration of life to see, one of my students and his parents. It was like a beautiful moment, and it needed to happen. It was so nice because at that time you and I really
we weren't that close, but we were we got along and we had fun together, but it was just mainly events. It wasn't
nothing like
family
this.
Like we are now.
Yeah, we're a family now, and it's so beautiful because I never, I went into one of your clubs, your parties with flip-flops thinking,
I know. We talked about that earlier, how we met. Yeah.
Which is crazy.
I was who is this person? That's your energy,
But everything happens at the right time.
Hell yeah.
Everything happens at the right time, and that's why I never get disappointed. Because when you get disappointed, it's because you have expectations, and I try my best to work on that.
It's best not to have expectations.
No.
But it's hard because you naturally
We're humans.
Yeah, you naturally have expectations.
Yeah, you naturally have expectations, but at the same time, when you start seeing your life and the way it's happening, sometimes you have to stop time and just count the blessings
and be present.
And just be present.
Yeah.
And that's.
But now with Zamdance, you're packed. You have so many classes. What's the Instagram and the TikTok for Zamdance? I'm gonna put it up.
On TikTok it's ZD, but it's also Zamdance, and you'll see all my videos. Instagram.
Yeah, guys, go on Instagram and on TikTok and just put Zamdance.
ZAM dance, and also on Facebook.
Incredible work.
Zamdance Zam Movement Inc. Because I also have a nonprofit. Yeah. And the nonprofit is called Zam Movement Inc. But I want to thank all the facilities that have hired Zamdance.
So many. We'll put all the information.
There's so many of them. Yes, and that's why.
Because also, if people want to donate to her company is just ridiculous what they do. It's got you touch so many people. You've changed, and you are changing so many people's lives.
I have leaders,
and we've talked about this. I'm you need to spread that. You need to build this out. Go across the country. Go international. There's so many children and adults with disabilities that this could benefit, and literally I've been to so many of her events, and these people they're just you're changing their lives for the 1 hour, 2 hours, they look forward to it and they dance. There are adults and children that are non-speaking, that dance,
or even verbal to their
that move. You make them move. You make them.
But that's because they have the ability. When I am there with them, I don't think they have a disability. No, they have the ability to do. It's just at a different level.
Yeah, it's at a different level.
And that level is so different, and I can see
And I always think that's a way higher level than us.
Absolutely, because it all has to do with energy.
Yeah, I
it's
totally
all about,
agree.
And the beautiful thing about them is that they know where to feel safe, and they feel safe.
And it's wonderful work.
It's a powerful movement because it has nothing to do with dance. It is beautiful because dance is involved, but it's a different type of world that when you're in it, and people that never will go for the first time, the first thing they say, how do you do it? And I say, just be natural, just be yourself. Yeah. And just accept them for who they are.
It's beautiful.
And it's that's how you accept the world.
Yeah.
Because people make fun of them, and it's not, and it's so terrible because you know what? They're just like you and I.
Yeah.
It's just, just gotta push them a little bit, but it's okay because they get it.
No, but it's beautiful.
And they get it in Zamdance. Come on, I have them singing in Spanish songs. When I play merengue.
You just played salsa, ¿cómo es?
Hecho de Cali, la salsa de Cali.
Sí.
And
like Daniela
did you see the video?
Introduced
if you go to @Zamdance, watch the video, and this is salsa.
And they started breakdancing. It was beautiful. Yeah, it was amazing.
This is what I'm talking about, and I want to show the world
But we gotta spread it. We gotta spread it. We gotta spread it.
Absolutely.
If anybody knows any adults or children with disabilities, and you can also do virtual. I told you, like they just even. I mean,
during the pandemic, it was virtual.
Right? It was all virtual.
It was all virtual, and it was a blessing because I thought that I was going to lose my business. I mean, I was in bad shape. Like I was like, oh no, this is not good. This is not good. But
it's been amazing. Your work
beautiful.
is fantastic. I admire you. I'm proud of you. Like keep it. You know, there's no one like you. I do have to say that. Like you are eres única. Like you are only you. Only you. There's no one else like you. And I think that's also like people go to see you and they want.
Right.
So it's hard, obviously, like if you find other people because it's not going to be you. But you can change so many more lives. We've talked about this.
And people tell me, "Oh, I'm surprised that you're not going viral. Like, why are you not going viral?" And I say,
"You've gone viral."
I mean, I say it doesn't really matter. All I want is for that person that's feeling down, that if these videos help them in some way, then you know what? That's exactly what I want.
That's what I want. Yeah.
Only one person. I mean, of course, a lot of people do reach out to me. It's like, oh my God, I was having such a bad day, and you made my day. Thank you so much for what you do. You make me want to go out there and dance. You know, and those are the things that I want to do. Like, I want to give that, you know, because I'm a giver. You know, I'm a giver, and to have a community, a community that supports you. That's huge.
It's huge.
So thank you, for my Zam moms and Zam dads, for not giving up on me. You are a part of my wings too. You know.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well, Jackie, let's.
And this is dedicated to them.
It is.
They probably didn't even know. Yes, this is dedicated to all the parents, all my families.
That's beautiful.
Okay.
I love it.
It's your flower.
So let me ask you this to close up our. I feel like we can talk for like 10 hours.
Oh, and this is my logo, by the way. Real quick. That's my logo.
Oh, right here, yeah.
Yes, and these are my students.
We'll put up pictures too.
Yeah,
I'd love that.
Yeah.
So people can see your tattoos.
This is my story. My story's here.
It's beautiful. I love your story. I really wanted, like, when I started the podcast for people, I was most excited about you because obviously you've become like my sister, your family, but you've just been through so much, but so many different lives, and you know, you should be proud of yourself, the work that you're doing. And I think when we first met, that's what I said. I was like, oh my gosh, like, and I'd love for us, like, we're talking about creating like an event or a party for kids and adults, because there's so many adults, so many women or queer folks in the community with children that can't really come out at night, obviously. So we're trying to expand and bring our worlds together. To maybe do like a late spring fling for the parents and the kids to enjoy, and maybe do like a field day.
Well, I'm starting my nightclub again because I started I started a nightclub. It's called ZD Nightclub.
Yeah.
ZD. And
I love that.
And I started that, and it was very successful before the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
And the second party was gonna be like a white party, so I wanted everyone to dress in white. Yeah. But guess what?
What?
Friday, March 22nd. I believe it's March 22nd.
Yeah.
I'm actually hosting the City Night Club.
Say where?
Casey Community Center in Gaithersburg, Maryland.
Hell yeah.
From 6 to 9, we're going to have mocktails, a DJ. Actually, the DJ is a parent.
Oh, nice.
Gerald, hello. and it's going to be amazing. So I'm going to create the flyer very soon, probably by next week, and boom.
Hell yeah. And it's gonna be amazing.
Yes.
Keep it up. Like, keep doing what you're doing. I think it's just, you're changing lives, you're changing the world, and one kid at a time, one adult at a time. It has a huge impact.
Of course.
Right? You should be proud of yourself for that.
Well, I love you, my sister.
I love
Thank
you
you
too.
so much for the support. I do believe that God
put us
together.
Yeah. No, seriously.
For many reasons, you know.
Too.
For many reasons. You have taught me a lot too.
You too.
So just know that.
I love you.
I love you too.
So let me ask you, my last question is, if you have, there are people listening, right? I'm sure you've connected with many people. People are connecting to your stories, whether it's from New York, here, Zamdance, whatever it is. What is one message that, like, you'd like to leave people with? Like, everything you've been through in your life, everything you've learned, everything you've struggled through, everything you keep learning about yourself. You talk a lot about forgiveness, about, it seems like you accept yourself and you love yourself, which is so hard. I feel like I haven't even gotten there yet. I mean, it's a work in progress, a daily work in progress. But what's your message for everybody to remember you by?
if I think about what I've been through, I would say not to give up. Don't give up. There will be many challenges, and this is where you have to start believing in yourself. And trust me, it's hard. Mm-hmm. It's hard to face yourself. But when you get to that point in where you face yourself, in where you start accepting yourself and embracing even the pain, then what happens is that you open your heart in such a way that you become this gentle person, like you become gentle with yourself. You don't beat yourself down. So just do that. Just follow your heart. Embrace yourself. Don't beat yourself down. Love you. You can even write sticky notes on the mirrors. Yeah. When you wake up in the morning,
you look at them.
I'm beautiful. I'm brave. I have actually 2 frames. I'm brave and I'm beautiful. Because sometimes we forget.
It works.
And if we come from a rough past, sometimes we don't know how to get, we don't remind ourselves that we are loved. Yeah. So it's difficult. It's not that easy, but you're not alone.
I love that.
You're not alone. That's all I gotta say.